we're nerds here. We're propeller heads. We still geek out.
Yeah.
Somebody comes out with a new product, we want to know everything.
Yeah.
Hurry up and ship it to us. We want to rip it out of the box, right? I hope we never lose that.
Yeah.
To me, I think that's what makes this so much fun. I've said this before, but there might be a better job out there. Mm-hmm. I haven't found it.
Yeah.
This stuff is so much fun.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on, guys? Today, I flew all the way up to Philadelphia to hang out with Steve Jane here at Fidelity Imports. Steve, in this video, I just want to have a candid conversation about our connection, about our passion for music and movies, but also what you do here at Fidelity. So for those of you that don't know, we've become authorized dealers for Perlisten. Mm-hmm. We're looking at some other brands that you carry, like Ruark. And so I wanted to come up here really to just pick your brain, talk about and dive deep on some of the great products that Perlisten carries. Of course, I've got a long running relationship with them over the past 5 years. I was the first person to fly up to their headquarters, interview Dan and Eric. I love what they stand for. I love the fact that they are just rooted and grounded in science. They want to make the best products for home theater and music. But they do it with the foundation of, man, we want to make sure that this measures well and performs well, but we also want it to look gorgeous and beautiful as well. So tell us a little bit about Fidelity Imports. Who is Fidelity Imports? What's your story? Like, where did you start?
Yeah, I think it's quite an interesting one. Fidelity Imports, it was really born out of necessity. So myself and my partner founded the company about 7 years ago. But everybody in the company has really come from more larger scale audio companies, myself included. And we all were working in big companies, big name brand companies, more corporate environment. And I think we all had kind of the same journey. We get to the point where you move up the ladder a little bit and you find the conversations are less and less about audio and the products and the music and the sound. And what starts happening is you're talking about distribution and the number of boxes.
Right.
And in some cases, it's January and you're planning and it's, well, last year we did 1,000 units and this year we want 1,200.
Right. Becomes a number.
It's a number. And the more I rose up and the more I know a lot of the other people inside the organization rose up, the more they were surrounded by bankers and venture capitalists and private equity. And I don't know about you, but when I say those three things, that's not who I want to hang out with on a Saturday. And I just found that it was less about the soul of why I did this. My personal origin is I started as a car stereo installer.
Yeah.
So I got into installing stereos, creating boxes, and selling them before I even had a car and a license. And it was really about saving up and being able to get my first car. And fast forward a little bit, I had done car audio for a while, and I found myself 27 years old with a pretty good position working at JVC. But looking at myself in the mirror and saying, man, you're chubby, you're bald, and you aren't cool anymore. And so it was, how can I talk to people about car audio anymore, being this chubby, bald 27-year-old? And I realized I wanted to go into home audio. And back then, that wasn't the easiest thing to do. Car guys were car guys, home guys were home guys. And so I had to take a couple steps backwards, and I went into home audio. I was blessed to have some really great positions working at Denon, Boston Acoustics, Marantz, Macintosh, because they were all part of one group during that time, and worked for some amazing people and really started to understand, sort of mainstream audio. The challenge I had was while I was working in those companies, I didn't lust after the things we wanted. I always wanted the more boutique or family design product, specialized product. And so my personal passions were around those products that were coming from Italy and France and Japan, American-made products, right? And so that's really where my passion came. And as I went around the world, I was met with distributors and importers, and I constantly felt like there really weren't that many great ones. And so my partner, Matt, he also had a similar path, came from car audio, worked in home audio, and was experiencing the same thing. And we were sitting there and we were saying, somebody's got to take a fresh approach to distribution and importing. And at the exact same time we were thinking about this, there was a shift in the market where you could see that all of these larger companies were consolidating. And every time they consolidate, it gets worse and worse for the small and medium dealer.
Yeah.
All of the stuff that was great, the programs, the training, the personal touch, right, between the manufacturer and the retailer, the experience center where the consumer would go, they basically were cut out of the equation in favor of giving most of that love to the big guys. And so we said, what if we started our own company, curated a portfolio of incredible brands, and focused on small to medium retailers? What would happen? And ultimately, that's led to where we are now. We've grown pretty rapidly. We started with some British brands. We added, second year, we added Perlisten. We were the first people in the world to launch Perlisten. First major review was us taking a pair of Perlisten S7Ts, myself, my partner, and my son, who was, I think, maybe 15 at the time, and carrying them up 11 stories in Manhattan.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
I mean, you've lifted up an S7T.
Yeah, they're heavy.
We had to go up 11 flights to Kalman Rubinson, a reviewer from Stereophile, and deliver them to him. And I remember we put the speakers in place, and when you do reviews, you generally don't want to color anything. So we go in, we put the speaker down, put it in place, and we said, all right, Kalman, look, we got the speakers set up. We're just going to make sure they pass music, and we're going to get out of here. Don't say anything. So we said, all right, we're hooked up. Turn them on. And we turn the speaker on, and the next thing you know, he's standing behind the couch. And he goes, whoa, 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 whoa. And as he's saying whoa, he's walking towards the speakers. And we're like, gotcha, because it was that instant he heard something different. And I think you've had experiences like that too. And so from there, we've really curated a portfolio of incredible brands from all over the world. We get to work with amazing customers and amazing people like yourself and many others. And we really cater to small to medium retailers. And that's really what we've been about. It's been an amazing journey, from where we started to where we are now with a 15,000 square foot building here outside of Philadelphia, 12 amazing brands from around the world, and 14 employees. Yeah.
So right now you see this backdrop. What you don't see is the massive amount of speakers and subwoofers and amplifiers, just some really cool products. You and your team, they were a huge help over this past 2 days, bringing products in, unboxing them so that we could share that story with you guys and talk about these great products and really just try to paint the biggest picture of where do you use, like what application would you want this over this, and hopefully that provides value to you guys at home watching this video. But I wanted to come up here because number one, we've had a relationship. I appreciate the friendship, but you've always taken really good care of us. Steve has been very open as far as like how we want to do, because truthfully, I'm shifting from a reviewer. Yes, I'm still testing product. Yes, I'm still getting in great subwoofers and speakers and amplifiers and projectors and all this, because we want to find out what are the great products and those ones that we're willing to get behind and really endorse and put our stamp of approval and say, hey, if you're looking for a great projector in this price point, this is what we recommend. If you're looking for a great subwoofer, this price point, here's what we recommend, this application. And so we want to provide curated products, and being able to have access to Perlisten and a lot of other brands that I'm curious to check out. You got me itching on the two channel side now. It's like, all right, I'm not much of a 2-channel guy, but there's some cool products. Man, I'm looking at a poster over here, some crazy speakers that look gorgeous. But having you as a partner and working through with this, then we can bring more to the table. We can provide more experience and be able to share those stories with you guys. But kind of visually just walk us through what's behind here.
Yeah, so behind here, there's a 15,000 square foot warehouse. We've got floor to ceiling stacked 3 high. We've got, oh God, my guess is a few hundred subwoofers, maybe more than a few hundred subwoofers in stock.
Yeah.
We've got all the installation products you would need, whether they're back boxes, pre-installation kits, tons of in-wall, in-ceiling speakers. We are building out this area permanently soon to create a YouTube studio, training room. Our goal is to one day be able to have people like yourself and your team out here when a manufacturer brings out a new product and really go deep with the product, right? I mean, I think the thing for us, and it kind of dovetails to what you were talking about, we talked a little bit about this at a trade show, that you were going to partner with the Obsessed team and create something special. And I think, you can keep me honest here on this one. We heard the story and we're instantly in, right? I think we said to you guys, let's do it. If we're going to do it, let's do it.
Right. Go all in is all what you told me.
Yep. And so this is a culmination of that, right? This is really just a starting point of the culmination of, let's all come together. Let's figure out how to support each other. Let's tell different stories. Let's show people the journey of selecting a product, because sometimes you're in this industry and we think like it's a given that somebody knows why to buy a monitor versus a bookshelf versus a floor standing speaker, when to go in wall, when to go in ceiling, why do you need 1 sub, 2 subs? And sometimes, and I think you've seen this from us too, we do all kinds of crazy stuff. One year we'll put 2 8-inch subs and show you can fill an entire room.
Right.
And one year we'll bring 2 18-inch subwoofers and say, but you can dial them down, right, to where it blends perfectly with a monitor speaker. Not everybody understands that. It takes time. And the reality is there is synergy. There is stuff that's involved with curating an incredible system. And so having the experience, understanding how the speakers work in a room, how a speaker relates to the amount of power you're giving it, the type of power you're giving it, when to use subs, how many you need, all of that stuff goes into a great audio system, a great home theater. And I think that's the thing, like we're nerds here, we're propeller heads. We still geek out. Somebody comes out with a new product, we want to know everything. Hurry up and ship it to us. We want to rip it out of the box, right? And I hope we never lose that. To me, I think that's what makes this so much fun. I've said this before, but there might be a better job out there. I haven't found it. This stuff is so much fun.
Well, it's funny. You were sharing with somebody that didn't know me here, on his staff, and he said Michael's just a big home theater nerd. He loves this stuff. When he gets a product that he's just really excited about, he's genuinely excited. When I do a home theater tour, I'm excited because this is like my heartbeat. This is my passion. I love home theater. I've always loved home theater since the days of Dolby Pro Logic and Top Gun, the original Top Gun, laser disc, all of that. Man, I grew up with that generation, and I said, man, I want that in my life. And it's taken me a long time to build my theater room over time. Like 19 years we've been in our home, and it continues to evolve. And like I said, now I've got a living room and I'm looking at options there, like what do I want to do there? And I'm always thinking, what's the next step, And so this journey never ends for any of us, but I love hanging out with people that it's more than just a business. It's more than just a dollar. It's more than just a number. You care about people.
Totally.
Your employees care about people, us, your customer. You guys have always taken great care of us, and that's why I wanted to have this conversation.
Yeah, sure. I think there's a couple, I don't want to be too philosophical, but this doesn't have to be hard. We're selling audio products. We're selling to people we like. We're passionate about the brands we represent. And I think for us, good people help good people. That's our philosophy. We want to partner with people that do it right. It's about the spirit of the business, right? You guys are carrying the torch to say, we're believers in the technology and the people behind it. We want to support it. And we're going to give you the same support in turn. And I think that's the key, right? Like, there's so many other things you could be doing with your life, but if you can find a way to provide with your bare hands for your family, and you're talking about music and movies all day long, I don't know what's better.
Yeah, yeah. I love it, man. Well, I appreciate your time. I know we've taken up your whole day and your staff, and they, like I said, they've been so accommodating and bringing in products and helping us unbox them and get them set up. But this has been totally worthwhile, man. I'm so glad we got a chance to see what you're doing here at Fidelity Imports, and I just look forward just to a continued great relationship with you and your team.
100% same.
Well, cool, guys. I hope you enjoy this video. I'll put a playlist right here. If you want to see some of the videos that we shot here at Fidelity Imports, definitely check those out. Hope you guys have an incredible week. God bless, and we'll catch you in the next video. Cool, and the camera was just overheating, so that worked out perfect.
Cool.